It's post-investor day, and as expected, the stock price is crashing. Down about 7 to 8%. Honestly, that's not that bad. I thought it was going to crash a whole lot more, like in a 10%, double digits, 10, 12% ranges. So sheesh, that's a surprise to me. But what this tells me is that the traders are selling, not the investors. The investors actually looked at this investor day like someone like I am, and I'm just like, makes sense. And with all the data points they showed, man, it got me hyped. In fact, so hyped and so confident that my thesis of me going all in into Tesla stock just solidifies. It's stronger, and I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I'm doing at the end of this video. But now let's go over the major points that I think they were really interesting, that in my personal opinion, these guys were like the highlights. So if you guys are ready, man, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Come on. Let's go. All the major points and notes that I thought was important, I posted on my Twitter. If you guys didn't follow my Twitter, man, then what are you guys doing? Come on, man, follow me on Twitter as well. I try to be as active as I possibly can. But starting off with the first thing is, well, the biggest announcement that I think was their next gigafactory will be in Mexico, manufacturing our next gen vehicles. And this is one of my predictions, that they're going to announce gigafactory Mexico. I mean, it was already leaked like a week or two ago, but it's nice to see that it's actually now official. Sheesh moment right there. Now, I do expect this gigafactory to do about 2 to 3 million vehicles, because if you guys watch Investor Day, they're trying to be very, extremely efficient in making the next gen vehicle. Instead of making it with so many parts and so many movements and so many complicated ways, they want to make it like a Lego set or some sort of like the hamburger theory. Shout out to Oracle for bringing that up when we were doing the interview live stream. So if that's the case, then most likely you wouldn't need so many manpower behind it, because you can just get machines to do it, and for that you can actually scale up to 3 to 4 million vehicles per factory. So that is a big sheesh moment right there. Now, what I do expect as we go forward, I do expect this type of factory to be made in other parts of the world, like for example Indonesia, maybe one in Brazil, and another one in the Middle East African region as well, so they can get that part of the market fulfilled as well, because these vehicles are going to be cheap, like 20 to 25,000, probably even less. I do expect this to be the testing ground for the next gen, and if it's smooth, all they do is copy and paste in different locations around the world. So yeah, again, another sheesh moment right there. But moving on to the second point is, Tesla made their 4 millionth vehicle. Like, sheesh. I know, this is like the fifth sheesh I'm saying. I know you guys may be getting annoyed, but that is flipping crazy, man. I was reading this article earlier today, and it was saying that Tesla just built its 4 millionth vehicle. After taking 12 years to make its first million, the company manufactured each incremental million units in 18 months. 11 months and 7 months, and I guarantee you, man, the 5 millionth vehicle is gonna happen within 4 to 5 months, and it's gonna happen this year, so get ready for that. And maybe the 6 millionth as well. Let's see what happens. So that was pretty darn interesting, the 4th million. The next one I have here is Tesla's next gen vehicle will be half the price of the current Model Y, Model 3, could range between 20 to 30,000. Tesla mentioned this themselves, how they can reduce costs, and it was absolutely flippin' impressive. Then another one, to my surprise a little bit, is that Tesla may make electric boats and planes. So that is crazy. I think there's gonna be more in the future, like maybe end of this decade or beginning of next decade. They gotta have the car section pretty much fully figured out for them to expand to boats and planes, so they don't get too overstretched, But that's interesting that they want to do boats, planes, heat pumps, all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty darn interesting. But it also solidifies the fact that Tesla ain't just a car company. Flipping bears. The next one. What I found interesting about Tesla's presentation is that Elon and the team kept repeating that vehicles will be electric and autonomous in the future. Again, that's a sheesh moment for me, because they keep saying that, okay, electric vehicles and autonomous, they are hand in hand. That's what they see as being the future, and man, that's just crazy. That's how you know that Tesla's going to do FSD, and I don't know, give it 3, 4, 5 years. We're gonna see states, probably countries, allowing this software, this FSD, to be running in their countries. And I do believe Dubai is going to be one of those first countries to allow that once everything is safe and there's, approval from politicians and regulatory approval and all that goodies. So FSD is something that will take Tesla stock to new heights, probably in the 3 to 4, 5, 6x's, but we have to wait for that. 3-4 years from now. Next, Tesla announces next Gigafactory in Mexico to create the next gen vehicles. I expect pre-orders to start mid-2024, probably even till end of 2024, and deliveries beginning of 2025, maybe a bit later than that as well, because hey, as you guys saw the presentation in Investor Day, they're gonna make the next gen very more efficient, faster, and quicker. So the question comes, can they make the Gigafactory in 18 months? That's the question. It may take 24 months, 18 months, but knowing Tesla, they're going to get things done fast. I mean, we saw what happened to Berlin with their gigafactories and all, how it took a bit longer than usual. Let's hope Mexico won't be like that, but we got to wait and see. But man, once they got the factory up and running, man, and they got the parts and everything to make this new gen, it's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be something that we've never seen before in the auto industry. So again, sheesh moment right there. The next one here is the Tesla bot. The Tesla bot surprised me on how they have progressed. Man, if you guys saw that video, look, they were walking without the flippin' assistance. That's flippin' insane. And the fact that they were actually doing tasks, the progress they've made from AI day till now, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's crazy. And at this rate, 2030, looking at how these bots are coming to life, is gonna be a very, very interesting year. So I don't know, let's give it 2-3 years and we can, talk more about the bot, the way how they're progressing with it. It's ridiculous how they're going forward with it. The next one on the list here is, well, it's the stock price. At the time of writing these tweets, Tesla was down 6% after markets and maybe bloody for the rest of the week. Those who are selling do not understand how valued this event was. Man, this event was so valuable. Man, I learned so much in this event. And as mentioned before earlier in the video, this event solidifies my long-term thesis, and thus I'll be adding more. Let the sell-off begin. Let it begin, man. I've been hoping to buy something under 180. Let's see if that'll come true. Another reveal we had on Investor Day is, well, something was so bullish. Tesla announces unlimited overnight charging for $30 a month. Man, if you already have a Tesla, you're probably spending $100 to $120 a month just to charge your vehicle. I mean, that's still good. I mean, compare that to a gas car, putting fuel in the car, that's about $400 to $500 a month. So 100 to 120 is like so much better already. But $30 a month, $1 a day, man, it's becoming a no-brainer to switch to an EV. It's just sad that I'm here in Kuwait and there's no EVs here, and it's just, God. There's a video coming for that later, and I think you guys would appreciate it. But this was actually pretty darn interesting. This was a big bull sign for me. Bye-bye gas stations, indeed. Now, the next one here is Elon set to scale to 20 million. Maybe they will need about 10 vehicles. This includes robotaxis variants, and yes, they mentioned this, and consumer variants. Sheesh. Now, what I did find pretty darn interesting is that they keep repeating 20 million vehicles. Great. But they were not saying 2030. And as I kept saying over and over again on this channel when I do these predictions, that 20 million vehicles by 2030, yeah, don't get your hopes up for that. Maybe 2033, 2034, 2035, there'll be 20 million vehicles. But for 2030, man, they gotta get those, gigafactories ramped up, get those cheap 25,000 vehicles next year and make multiple factories so they can, start producing in mass. But at this rate, I don't think 2030 will be the case. Most likely 2032, 2033, 2034, around there. Now, what I did find really interesting is that they said that there's about 400,000 customers with FSD at the moment. So that's pretty darn amazing. And with more vehicles on the road, we can expect more customers to opt in for the FSD at about a 10 to 15, 20% rate. Now, in my opinion, the Investor Day was what I expected. To be honest, they showed how the next gen vehicle will be made, but didn't actually reveal anything, which what I was predicting. Everything else was great info and solidifies long-term investors like me. But sorry, Wall Street, it ain't 10xing tomorrow, and that's why we have the sell-off. And as you guys can see here, the pre-market 8%. Now we're at like 7%, 8%. But get ready for a bloodbath. It may be a week, 2 weeks until, other news come up that will bring the stock higher or maybe even lower, because we are still in a bear market. So yeah, these are the major points that I came up with on Investor Day. Major points in my opinion, at least. But to calm down some panic out there, let's look at Seeking Alpha for a second. And the reason why I look at Seeking Alpha is because they don't look at the bull side, and nor do they look at the bear side. They like to stay very conservative and neutral. So if there's a place you need to go to look at information of a particular stock that's not too bullish and not too bearish, Seeking Alpha is that place and platform, man. Like for example, look, rating summary, hold and buy after this Investor Day. You're not seeing sell. Other platforms are telling you to sell, but Seeking Alpha is saying, no, hold. And, there's even a buy here as well. So that's, that tells you something. They're not panicking. They're not panic selling the whole market is right now. They're saying, oh, hold on, man. The investor day, yeah, they were, we were expecting, a new vehicle to be to be revealed. But hey, man, relax. They were teasing us a lot, and they take a very, very conservative approach. Oh, and look at that, $191 per share. Now we're down in the 5%. It's not even in the 6% anymore. So very, very interesting. But what else is interesting is the growth grading that Seeking Alpha is giving Tesla, and given that these guys are conservative, the fact that, look at this, A pluses, except for leverage free cash flow growth year over year, C minus, and capex growth year over year growth, but everything else is in the A's and B's, which is absolutely flippin' ridiculous. And these guys are being conservative, which is why I'm just like, that's crazy. You see forward growth revenue of about 35%, sector median is about just over 8%. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. EBIT growth, 50% compared to the industry of 4.5, so more than a 10x. Come on, are you serious? You see, that's absolutely ridiculous. Free cash flow per share growth forward looking 47% compared to 3.83% to the whole industry. Man, that's just, I'm telling you, man, these guys are just looking at it at a very, very good scope. Return on equity growth year over year 60% compared to the whole sector of like negative 10%. And then forward of that is about over 9%, which I don't agree. I think, that's going to be a whole lot more, maybe in the 20-30%. But nonetheless, the forward row growth, again, they're putting 9% because of all the price cuts that's happening. I'm sure once Q1 comes out, it's going to be a whole different story. But nonetheless, a 9% growth in this environment compared to the whole sector of minus 10. Pretty much just saying that the whole market is going to shrink. The whole auto market is going to shrink, but Tesla's going to grow by 10% in this market. I think they're going to grow about 20%, 30%. But for these guys, these analysts saying that 10%, that's actually pretty darn impressive. Other places are not saying this. Now let's go ahead and look at profitability, because this is what's also important when it comes in a recession. Now, gross margin, 25%. The sector median is not 35%. I mean, Ford is at 13%, 14%, GM is at 13%. So they range between 12 to 15%, but Tesla's doing 26%. Even with a price cut. So really a D plus, I think this is wrong in my opinion. But nonetheless, the net income margins, this is correct. 15%, which is crazy for a car company. And the sector is just below 5%, so 3 times. Tesla's doing 3 times, and Seeking Alpha recognizes that. And that's why when you look at their stuff, man, I mean, look at that again. Everything is A to A plus B. That's flipping crazy. And you can get lost in the rabbit hole, man. Like, for example, earnings. If you go to earnings summary here, EPS surprise and EPS by quarter, I mean, they've been crushing it, and they're saying that 85 cents for Q1 of 2023. Spoiler alert, they're gonna be in the $1. In my opinion, I'm just, not financial advice, but I'm just saying they're gonna beat it again. But yeah, man, you guys can go ahead and get lost here. Earnings estimates. You can go look at the earning estimates. These guys are saying that by 2032, $19 EPS. I mean, no other analyst is saying by 2032, or not even looking that far, to be honest. They're saying $10 or $11 by 2030, and 2032 is going to double. So I don't know why that's the case. Maybe it's the FSD, maybe it's the 20 million vehicles, maybe it's the bot, maybe it's energy. I really don't know. But it's good to see that even these guys, Seeking Alpha, who's conservative, are bullish on Tesla stock. So sheesh, but hey, you guys can get lost in this, earning revisions, earning surprise, transcripts, and you got all these things here. And you guys can get all this for $99 for the whole entire year. And hey, if you don't know if this is for you, you have 7 days trial. So really, you guys can play around, see some cool info and data to improve your conviction on a certain stock. It doesn't have to be Tesla, it could be any of them. And I do come to Seeking Alpha very frequently when I do feel that I get too bullish and too bearish. So yeah, it helps a lot. And if you guys are interested in the 7-day trial, link in the description. I recommend it. So you guys will be asking, what am I doing in this crash with this panic, and everyone's saying that Investor Day was a disappointment and they didn't unveil a car and they just talked about what they always talked about? Well, in this crash, I'm taking it as an opportunity to buy more shares. It's simple as that. In fact, I bought this morning, which is on a Thursday on the crash, at the $187, $86 per share. It was at the lowest point, and I'm just like, yep, deposit money, and buy some shares. And I'll continue to buy more shares if they're this stinking cheap. Again, that's my opinion and my opinion alone. But as you guys know, I'm going all into Tesla stock, man. About 99% of my entire portfolio is in Tesla stock. Now that is a sheesh moment. And you know what else is a sheesh moment? Tesla doing another stock split next year. Check it out over here. Y'all will be disappointed. I know it's too early, but it could happen if we're in a big bull market in 2024. Check it out. Support the channel by becoming a channel member or getting a golden t-shirt or poster, and subscribe if you haven't already, man. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.